Hello, everyone. Welcome to another CineMayo movie talk with Tim Allen and me, Joe Mayo. And it's the two of us tonight as we discuss movies, and hopefully people will come in and help us out, come up with things to talk about other than just Rocky and Jaws. And what's the other one? Is there another one that's a
This is a big two,
Hitchcock?
well, De Niro, you gotta talk
Oh
about De
yeah, De
Niro.
Niro's another one. Yeah. But we're here, and a lot of audience again is not. I try to put these things up early to let you all know that we're doing them at about this time now, 8:30 Monday nights. Talk about Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. And both of you watching right now will know that. So, two people. And there were four. I guess I'll go down to one, might as well. I'm just trying to keep tabs so I know how much I'm supposed to talk about because I see again you got some schmuckers. Oh well, I'll just go off one. They'll be back. They always come back. All right. Oh, Beetle Eddie, there we go. Beetle Eddie, you're the one watching, huh? What's
Hello.
going on? What can I say that hasn't been said already? A lot of things, I guess. All right. So, as far as I guess lately, different finds and things that we've had, did you pick up any kind of movies or anything, or has this been a light week?
I picked up a few, but ironically, my thrift store put everything on sale. Blu-rays, any kind of movie's a buck. Blu-ray, DVD, doesn't matter. It's a buck. Records, $4 for $1. VHS tapes for $1, and I bought nothing. They had because they stopped cycling. They used to, like, every month they'd pull things and they stopped doing that. So now it's the same stuff for months, and so there's nothing that I want, unfortunately, even if it's dirt cheap. So, but I did, I picked up. I don't think I've shown these yet. If I did, stop me. Anna Lucasta. It's an Eartha Kitt film with Sammy Davis Jr.
I don't remember seeing that.
Okay, good. And this was done by Kino Lorber.
I love Kino Lorber.
Yeah, I do too. I pick up pretty much anything I see for $1 or $2 by Kino Lorber. I mean, I think you.
Yeah, they're my new favorite company.
So yeah, I picked that up. I haven't watched any of these, and I'm going to show this nice 2-disc set of movie. Believe it or not, I did not have Scarface, Al Pacino. Nice thick case. 2-disc set.
I didn't know you were a fan of that movie.
I'm not really, but I've never actually watched it all the way through. I've only seen parts of it.
No, it's worth seeing.
So yeah, I'll check that out. And then I didn't have any of these, so might as well get all three at once.
Yeah, baby.
Get it over with. There we go. I got all the Austin Powers films in one. And they are all on at least different discs. They're stacked in there, but that doesn't bother me. And I picked this up because I don't have 3 of the 4 films, believe it or not. I only have the Blues Brothers out of.
I still have never seen The Jerk. Isn't that a sin?
The Jerk. I saw The Jerk in theaters in like 1980 or whenever it came out. I've never seen Car Wash, and I haven't seen Animal House since it came out, probably.
Yeah, so, Animal House is a favorite, and the other.
I love the Blues Brothers. I have a nice 2-disc set of the Blues Brothers, but I know the rest of them. So that's it for stuff I picked up.
Well, I wasn't going to highlight this one because, as Eddie says, it's a movie channel. I know it's a movie channel, but let's talk about the Beatles. Well, things so close to music. What do you think of Zach Starkey being fired by The Who? I think it is idiotic. I was going to do a video again.
Twice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And not only that, but I'm hearing that, well, the idea, right, everybody knows is that they fired him, or was mostly Roger Daltrey. Then they took him back,
Yeah.
and they got rid of him again, just as they're about to go on a big tour, farewell tour for the 10th time. And supposedly, the thing is that they told him to lie and to say that he left or something.
Yeah.
I
mean, come on.
It's
For a band that once had Keith Moon as their drummer, saying that he's playing too much and too loud is absolutely ridiculous.
that's the charge. Well, that's crazy. That I guess that they're too old for their ears. I don't know. Both of them have hearing problems.
Well, then quit. Because nobody wants to see you go out there and have somebody on the drums going. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Eddie. That's more of for the other channel. I was at a store that sells CDs, used CDs, DVDs, LPs, games, etc. I saw a DVD you never saw before. Give Peace a Song, about the John and Yoko Bedin. Have you guys seen that DVD? I have not seen that particular one, but no. I've got a Bedin documentary. I think it's John and Yoko's Year of Peace. I think it's called something like that.
I've seen a few. I've probably seen most of the scenes that are in that. Whether
Yeah, everybody's commenting now on Zach Starkey. Thanks, Eddie.
Well, Oasis too. I mean, Oasis is going to go on tour, and he probably would have been their drummer if he was available. But they've hired somebody now. So,
all right, now we're back to the Hammer movies, Hammer horrors. I'm having trouble finding the Gorgon and the Reptile. Are they available? Well, I don't know what the state of the Reptile is right now. Actually, they are available. They came out on or at least Reptile came out on Anchor Bay DVD in like the late 90s or 2000 or something like that. I don't know, and the Gorgon also, but I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I have either one of them right now. To tell you the truth, I think they're on Blu-ray as well.
I know that they're on Blu-ray, but they might not be available in the US. You might have to search, UK and go region free or something, because
nope, haven't watched The Thin Man yet. Nope, haven't listened to the Bob Dylan 10 record set. What else is that recent? This is not that recent, but this, guys, I'll say what I always say. I think people say this because they love me saying it. Again, like I said, there are so many things. Do you know how many books I got? Do you know how many DVD movies, Blu-ray movies, CDs, vinyl albums, videos I got to make? There's so many things. But no, it's a simple question. You don't mean nothing by it. Oh, you forgot. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I've been eating it till it's coming out of my ears, Absolutely. I got screwed today, Mix 64. I went out to a restaurant and I got stuffed cabbage. Those are going to be just stuffed with chopped meat. It was rice in it too. I forgot. So I inadvertently had carbs again, which I don't want. So, boy, when I make the next video of that series, it's going to be some stories that I got, experiences that I've had. But I don't know when that. Nobody's asked, but I don't know if it's probably going to be near the end of maybe June 1st, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, okay. To bring music, Eric says, into the subject of film, there was a musical festival set in 1970 in Atlanta. Camera crew filmed most of Jimi Hendrix's performances. It was shelved for 40 years. I saw the DVD. Okay.
Cool. I don't know about that. Couldn't have been too long before he died.
I like the Thin Man series. The first two are especially good.
Yeah.
Dashiell Hammett, who wrote the original book, wrote or co-wrote the screenplay for the first 2 or 3. Oh, I almost forgot. All right, I asked him, did he pick up anything? I actually did today. I just put up a video, and I'll be telling you the outcome of the video if you haven't seen it already, but whatever, I'll spoil it. I went back there this bookcase has old DVDs, and I look for stuff that I don't need anymore or want anymore. Most of it was because I had it upgraded to Blu-ray, or had doubles or something like that. And if you watch that video, the new one, you can see which videos, which DVDs, I should say, I got rid of. But I went to this place, and I think it was called Book Off. I don't know, something like that. More like Rip Off. I went down there. I didn't count how many DVDs. There were a ton of DVDs. They say a ton, not too many, not too little, decent amount. And I had to wait an hour because there were two customers ahead of me trading in stuff. So I was browsing around the store looking. I think I got a huge selection of used and some new DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks. And I'm waiting an hour. Then he texts you on your phone. Mm-hmm. You got to give them your name. You got to give them the phone number, all this stuff. Then he texts you, your items are ready, to see how much you're getting. And I go there, and $20.72, which was to me was absurd. Now I realize DVDs are not very popular, even like Blu-rays and 4Ks aren't that big, but it was ridiculous, I thought, and I said no thanks. And then I went to my record store, and they gave me $40, which is a surprise in itself. But that's because Bazooka Joe's son was handling it, I think. But anyway, that's that story. It was ridiculous. I'll never go there again to try to sell anything. They had a list of how much everything was. 25 cents. Mm-hmm. Give you this, 30 cents for that. Now look, it's not like they're selling them all for $1. The DVDs there, either. I mean, I looked at them. They really go by how much they're worth. Sometimes there's ones that'll be $10 or $5. They're not all $1. So if it's $1, I would expect a nickel or something if they're selling it for. But they sell them for like $3 or $4 either. Anyway, while I was there browsing around, we talked about the Kino Lorber. They had a lot of the KLs. I love seeing that KL on the side.
Yeah. Yep.
And they had a whole bunch of them together. And I was able to pick a couple out of that. First one is one of my favorite movies. I already have this on Blu-ray. These are Blu-rays I got. I already have it. And it's the glare kills me. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Which I really love this movie. And the one I have is a different cover. I think the cover is actually that. Front cover has that picture. It's not, the ad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I thought, why not? It was not expensive, and I thought maybe it's better. Maybe there's more features on here. I looked. We'll see. Also, Kino was this film. This one I've never seen, and it's from 1933, and it is, I guess, a supernatural film because it is called Supernatural. And it's got Carol Lombard and Randolph Scott in it. And I said, okay, Kino Lorber, why not? 64 minutes. Doesn't matter. I've been trying to watch Revenge of the Zombies from 1943. That thing is 67 minutes. I'm on like a week on it right now. Just keep nodding off. Anyway, two more. You mentioned Scarface before. Well, I got this Blu-ray of Scarface from 1931, is it, or 2?
I like that version. 32, isn't it?
Yeah, and Boris Karloff's in it. I mean, that's another thing for me, but I like it anyway. Paul Muni. I've seen it. I have it on DVD, but if I'm gonna find kind of cheap, what the hell? So 2 versions of the film. The original uncensored theatrical version, and then a censored version with an alternate ending. Oh, geez. Well, okay. I'll go for the original version, I guess.
Well, I always watch them both. When I put on a movie, I watch everything that's on the disc, period.
Wow.
That's what I do.
What if they got like 3 commentaries? You want that too?
I listen to all the commentaries. Sometimes it takes me a week to watch a movie if I watch it every day. I
do. I love that if it's a movie that I like, All right, and lastly, this is a classic, and I have this on DVD. Had it on DVD. Now I got it on Blu-ray. It's Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
So you see, they're not all horrors in this batch, folks. But I guess they're close, some of them. But yeah, so that's what I had recently picking up. Let's see.
More than me.
Add Brad Dourif won supporting actor award for Cuckoo's Nest. Did he? I don't know. Jack Nicholson won, right?
No idea.
Best actor. I like Walter Matthau. Really good film, Hopscotch. As Matthau was a retired CIA agent writing his memoirs about the ineptitude of upper management, and they chase him everywhere to stop him. That's pretty cool. I have never seen it. Yeah, I like that movie. What was the one? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Charlie Varick. That's an interesting movie with Walter Matthau. Good movie. I saw it a long time ago. I remember I liked it. I haven't seen it since. So it just goes to show you how long it's been. And I guess I'll talk about something that is kind of controversial. I was going around on TCM channel, and I saw most of it. I think I came in like 15 minutes, late. It was a documentary about the movie The Day the Clown Cried, which is a Jerry Lewis movie, right? He directed it and he stars in it, and it's a really heavy film. Or, Tim, we've talked about this a little bit, right? Over the years, right? And it never got finished, I don't believe. But I've heard different things.
I think pretty much the principal photography got finished, but he never finished editing it or anything like that. But I think he did finish filming it. I think the principal photography was done.
Because I heard there was a 75-minute version somewhere, but then somebody said there's like 5 hours, but it's all fragments.
There's a few actors who claim to have seen the whole thing. That could have, because they're in a position where they could have.
But have they ever edited it to like a movie form? Because I hear
apparently someone has, but nobody has professionally done it. You know what I mean? Like to try to get it fit for theatrical release. And it was in Jerry Lewis's will that it couldn't be released until this year, 2025. It's the first year that, according to his will, it could come out.
I heard 24. Not that it matters, but it
could have been last year. I don't remember.
But he did say, he did put it in there. I don't know. He's funny things. He won't tell you the reason that he does the telethons. You can't put this movie out till 2024, not 2023, not 2026. I don't know what this is all about. But anyway, let's put it this way. I saw about 30 minutes of it. And if you look on YouTube, by the way, and again, the name of the movie is The Day That the Clown Cried, there's like a 35-minute version that you could find on YouTube. And it's basically about a clown that was once kind of some popular or something, but then he kind of like fell on hard times and he lost it. And he's down and out about it. And he winds up this takes place over the 40s, I guess, and he winds up in a camp, and there's a lot of controversy and serious stuff that's going on in there that's very heart-wrenching in some parts. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin things, and I don't want to spoil it for you. The ending specifically is very, very strong and heartbreaking. So it was disturbing beyond belief, the ending of this movie. And it's, in a way, after having seen the footage of this, I'm not surprised that it wasn't released. I don't know if that's the whole reason, or there was money problems, I heard. Here you go. Like, Because Lewis had money in the film, and the producer tried to rip him off. That's what I remember from one of Lewis's books.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I think even for him, he started feeling it was too controversial, and he couldn't put it out.
Yeah, and he really, I mean, it's amazing. This documentary is worth seeing because you'll see totally about 30 minutes or so of the footage during the documentary, not all together, like through segments of it, and a lot of interviews with Jerry Lewis, and you see them behind the scenes making it. It really is a fascinating documentary. I can't remember the title. I could have done the work. It's easy enough to look up. Look up a documentary on TCM. I don't know if it's a TCM documentary, but it's on there, and it has a title that has nothing to do with The Day the Clown Cried. It's not in the title. But anyway, I'm glad I stumbled on it. It made me very interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I've wanted to see it for years, and I'm thinking maybe we never will, but who knows? But yeah, hello.
Yeah, I don't know if I said hello to Penny Lane yet, but I'll say hello now. I don't remember the ending of The Shining. All I remember is that he was in the ice or something. He was frozen. I don't know. You ever see The Shining, Tim?
No, it's not I don't do horror movies.
I know it's not a horror thing.
Not that kind of movie anyway.
I did not see the Shining miniseries. I've heard that King was not happy with the film version with Nicholson, Stanley Kubrick's version. But yeah, and rest in peace, Joe Don Baker. I think I talked about Charlie Varick a while ago. I think he was in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. And if he was, I remember him having a really good part in there, good performance. Apparently, the rights had expired, which caused a problem for finishing it.
I don't know what happened, but I think principal photography was done or close enough that it could have been finished.
Well, it's funny that I thought like the 30, 35 minutes that you see that's on right now, when they put it together, even though it's not the whole thing, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You could follow it, you know, and the ending is just terrifying. I heard Stephen King wasn't pleased with the movie of The Shining, and that he wrote the script for a Shining miniseries later, which is more faithful to the book. Exactly. Talking about meat, I like meat, but with vegetables, rice, etc. I always say KRWD. Isn't that crude?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I always say crude. I don't know.
Crude. Kimber, what's going on? Greetings. Have you been to Big Lots lately? There's still one by you?
No, Big Lots is gone. Well, some are reopening, but no, they closed every Big Lots. They're gone. They are reopening a select few, but they're very different now. They're kind of closed stores now. A clothing company bought them, and so they're very different. Mine isn't being reopened, so nope.
Hit the dust. Would you say Walter Matthau was better in comedy or drama? I don't know. I mean, I've seen him in both. I don't know. Maybe do I want to say comedy? I don't know, but I still think he does drama well, depending on the movie or the part.
Yeah, I don't know either. He's good in either. Yep.
I'm surprised Barnes and Noble's still around after the end of Borders, Walden Books, etc. Yeah, remember they were saying like 10, 15, 20 even years ago, books are going to be gone too.
Well, somebody has to stay. I mean, they're the last major book chain, really, besides half price books and things like that. But as far as an actual retail book chain, they're the last man standing. Which surprised me a lot. It surprised me years ago because I always thought Barnes and Noble or Borders was so much better, and Borders went under and they didn't, and that surprised me. But
End of the world. What are you going to do? One defect with Oliver Stone's JFK was that Matthew and Lemon are both in the film, but never in the same scene. Yeah, well, I don't know if it would. With them in the same scene, I don't know. That'd be too comical.
yeah, they only do comedy together.
When Big Lots first started, they were really good because they got all sorts of interesting things in. When they became just a discount store with overpriced.
Well, they didn't start out as Big Lots. They started out as Odd Lots, and that's literally what they were. They bought things left on trains and just stuff that were abandoned product, and they would buy it cheap and sell it cheap, and that's how they started. And then they changed it into Big Lots and started making some of their own stuff and buying legitimate stuff from legitimate. Not that it's not legitimate, but going to manufacturers and saying, what price will you give me on this, rather than just buying leftover stuff and whatever they can find.
Well, Crude agrees that
yeah,
Borders was outstanding.
Yeah, Borders was my favorite store. They weren't cheap, but they weren't that expensive, and they anything you wanted, you could probably find there. I mean, as opposed to like my Barnes and Noble has nothing.
Yeah, well, I have one that's a small one, Barnes and Noble, one that's huge, and the huge one's pretty good.
I have a huge one a few towns over, but they had a huge record department. The record department's tiny now. They got rid of that, and I'm like, well, there's my reason for going there. But my small one, they have those little counters where you can ask for help. There's always two people behind that counter, because anything anybody wants, they're going to have to order for them. So
yeah, right. Yeah,
it's
order it
online. It's ridiculous.
They can order it for you if you want.
Exactly. It's silly.
I saw Righteous Kill in the movie theater, and I all I remember is it was disappointing. It wasn't. It didn't really utilize De Niro and Pacino well. I don't remember it being any good. Funny thing is, I think I got it on Blu-ray because I might have found it for $1 or something. And trust me, I have it for Pacino, not De Niro. Even though I like De Niro in a lot of things,
I've never seen it.
I guess this is a good time. I thought of something else I could talk about. This doesn't count as a viewing because it's not a full viewing. When I watch something or just a little bit or catch it in the middle or something, this one I saw most of the first, I guess, half hour, I want to say maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, was My Little Chickadee was on again. It was on Turner Classic Movies. And, W.C. Fields. And, W.C. Fields is hit and miss for me. I've seen things that I've liked and things that I wasn't as crazy about. But it wasn't even him. I was looking at Mae West.
Yeah.
In that. I had seen the Mae West movie. Is it She Done Him Wrong or something like that? What's the one when she says, "Come up and see me sometime"? I did see that movie, but I can't remember the name. I've
seen it, but I can't remember. I can't remember either.
Somebody let us know. There's not many people here, but I think it's She Done Him Wrong.
That's the one with a very young Cary Grant in it, isn't it?
It's a long time, but I saw the whole thing 20 years ago. And I remember
that is the one she says, "Come up and see me sometime." I think it's
right. And I was not very impressed. But this one, I thought she used sex appeal in this one. What can I say? And I'm not saying, it's not like I look at her and think, "Oh my God, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen," or anything. No. It's just something about her attitude in it, which I guess, I mean, who am I telling something they don't already know? That's her whole thing. And she carries herself in it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is." And all I know is she marries W.C. Fields, and he's foolish enough to do it, and she's using him in this kind of thing. And I didn't really see a lot of it, unfortunately. So I'm only doing that to have a little bit to talk about because I don't count it as a view. I wouldn't dare rate it or go. I was thinking of making a video though about The Day the Clown Cried. I was thinking of making a video just basically talking about what I just said here and, see what people think. Yeah. And, I've always said I'm not big on Jerry Lewis. But I'm starting to think maybe I want to try seeing some more of his stuff.
I like him.
Yeah,
I really, especially his, you know, post Dean Martin, just after Dean Martin, till about 63, 64. His
yeah. I
movies
think.
are
I mean, I
really
don't
good.
know. A lot about the history or anything, but I think I like him maybe later, not so much really early, like early. Like I like him around. I don't know how early this is. You tell me. But the one when I guess it's the Nutty Professor when he becomes the cool and suave
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah. That's still in his early period. That's
You know,
63,
it is.
64, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, that one. I remember seeing some of that, and I like some of that. If
Yeah.
it goes really over the top,
Well,
silly and
he
childish, I'm not interested.
he's in a
But
movie called The Bellboy, and
right,
I watched this whole movie, and then it got to the end, and I realized he didn't speak in the whole movie. His part
no,
was silent. And I'm like, holy, you didn't even notice. And it's Jerry Lewis, Mr. Yes, man, and he's not. He's totally, he doesn't say a word till the end of the movie. He brings it up. He's like, you might have wondered why I wasn't talking, and he
Mm,
talks, and it's just, holy crap. Good
yeah.
movie.
Well, it's interesting. I recently bought King of Comedy. Can't wait to see it. Heard it was good. Jerry Lewis with De Niro. I saw that in the movie theater in 1983. I love that movie. I think it's one of my favorite movies. I love it. And I love that Jerry Lewis is playing kind of the straight man in it, more or
Mhm.
less. And it's kind of serious for him. And it's a favorite of mine. Hope it'll be one of yours too. And I think that's one of Robert De Niro's better roles. Like, I just think when I watch that, I can believe it's not him. Really, I don't automatically think, oh, that's Robert De Niro again, doing the same faces and things. Um, yeah, the Kimba, that's what I've always felt. A little too goofy for my liking, and that comes from a guy who likes the Three Stooges. So how does that work? But I don't know.
But he wasn't always, and that's the thing. I mean, he
Yeah,
was
that's why I'm
actually a
thinking
pretty
like,
good actor.
yeah, maybe I don't, I don't need the two goofy ones.
You know,
Nutty Professor 63 considered his best.
yeah. But he has a bunch of movies around. I think I like his Bellboy movie the best, which he filmed. He's filming two movies at the same time. I don't know when he slept. He wanted to do this movie, and they said you can only do this movie if you film it at night. You can use this hotel because it's nighttime, so nobody will be around. And so he made two films at once. And I don't know when he slept because he spent 8 hours in the daytime making a movie and 8 hours at night. When did he sleep? I don't know. But he made two movies at once, and I forget what the other one was, but they're great. And the man is underrated, in my opinion. I know he wasn't the nicest guy in the world. I
Well,
never
that's the
let that
problem I
stuff.
have.
I
You're not
never
supposed
let
to.
that. I don't let that.
No,
You know.
I know you're not supposed to. Why? I mean,
No.
I still
No.
like Abbott and Costello, and
No.
Lou Costello is a real terror.
and 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 the man invented the monitor for film. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. The people look at screens now. Directors look at screens instead of the actions. They can see. Jerry Lewis invented that for that movie, The Bellboy, because he was directing it and he was starring in it, and he's like, how do I do this? So he got him to hook up a video camera and a TV screen, and so that he could look in the camera and see what was going on, and he invented the monitor.
So, what do you think? Did he need somebody to pull the reins in on his excesses?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And in fact, later in the 60s, when he lost a little bit of control and he was just acting, movies got worse, in my opinion, than they were when he had full control.
How many
And
movies does he have approximately?
I don't know, 40. I don't know, a lot.
40, not
Well,
just like
including
seven or
the
eight.
Dean Martin ones, yeah. Him and Dean made at least 10, probably.
And what about Cinderfella?
Cinderfella is okay. It's The Ladies Man's pretty good. The Ladies Man's another one of his classics.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I might tap in there a little bit. If it gets too stupid, I'll have to stop. But I'm gonna try. I'm trying to understand why Jerry Lewis disowned his kids. A creep.
I have no idea. He I think Gary Lewis is in one of his movies, I think. So I don't know when this happened, but.
And The Bellboy was also Peter Lorre's last movie.
I don't remember him in it, but I'll believe you. I just don't remember.
I asked Jerry, I guess, for his autograph, and he refused. I know. He sent it to the wrong person because Tim will say, I just want to talk with him. I don't need an autograph.
Yeah, well, yeah, I never asked for autographs.
I don't think he'd let you talk to him either. Oh, miserable guy, Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Yep. Not Gary Lewis and the Pacemakers. No, you get them mixed up.
Yeah.
Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Yeah, Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Again, he's in one of his movies, so one of his later.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, there's a lot of things I'm thinking about doing. I just got to get down and do them.
Yeah.
Plus, like this morning, I woke up at 4 a.m. I mean, I couldn't get back to sleep. I tell everybody, I don't have insomnia. I never had insomnia. It's not that. But I mean, it's because I got to get up and pee, and then I can't get back to sleep. What? 117 films.
Well, appeared in. Probably
appeared
just. Somebody said he has 27 solo films. That sounds about right. And he probably did about 10.
That's impressive too, because that sounds like a lot of movies, even 27.
Oh.
Yeah, 28.
28 was the clown. Okay.
Are you counting It's a Mad World's cameo?
Yeah. I think that's his films. As opposed to him, he showed up in a lot of films just for, a cameo. So I could talk about what I've seen because I haven't done that.
Okay. And he's not counting Mad World. Okay, please, by all means.
I haven't seen that much, but I watched this, and it's not a great film. I don't even remember it that much, but Frank Capra's The Matinee Idol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I think I'd seen it before, but I decided to watch it. It's a silent film, and it's one of Capra's early films, and he's getting there. That's what I remember about it. But then it also has the documentary American Dream, so I watched that, and I've seen it before, but that got me in a Capra mood. So I spent the last few days watching Why We Fight, which is Frank Capra's World War II movies made for the military.
Better you than me.
7 of them that he made, for the soldiers to explain why they're there, basically, to get them motivated. And let me tell you, I'm not saying all of this is true that's in there, but it's fairly horrific, and we're talking 1941, 42 here. There's some fairly horrific stuff in here, and Frank Capra was really good at making propaganda films. These things work. I was hating those 3 countries that were against us as much as they probably were in 1942 watching this. Just really, and the footage is amazing. And Capra just did a really good job on these. And again, there's 7 of them. So that's pretty much how I spent my last week watching.
How do you have that stamina? I envy you.
And it's good. They're worth seeing. I've learned a lot of stuff I never knew. I always thought that we might be a little culpable for our own involvement in World War II, and maybe we are, because we were helping China secretly more than we should have been with the Flying Tigers. But they point out so much other stuff in here that was going on that I'm just like, okay, maybe Japan didn't attack us because of the flying tigers, but just the this is the first war, and I won't get into this, but this is the first war where all three of the enemy countries, and I won't name them, we all know who they are, were just killing random people, killing civilians. That had never happened before. They never went after just everybody. It's just horrible. So anyway.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Well, I like history, and I like to know why things happened. And like I said, I can't say that everything is 100% accurate in this, but I got a feeling it's not too far off the mark.
Nick was amazed to find out Jerry Lewis's last film was 2016, called The Trust. And don't forget, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, Jerry Lewis ran over Captain Culpepper's hat when he threw it out the window of his office. Yes, and that's Spencer Tracy. I think Frank Capra wrote in the autobiography that Why We Fight series was one of the things he was most proud of.
Well, it should be. It should be. Like I said, if you and there was no draft then, so everybody in World War II enlisted. And if you're sitting there and you're having doubts, and you're sitting there and they're making you watch these films, those doubts would have gone away pretty quickly. They're really good films.
Okay, I watched a movie last night called Zeta 1. It's a British sci-fi spy sex comedy.
I've seen it a long time ago. I don't remember it, but I've seen it. Yeah, there's this whole series of films in the 70s, British films that are like these sort of sex comedy things that they're all interesting films. I have quite a few of them, but there's hundreds of them. Yeah, but I've seen Zeta 1.
I see, said the blind man. Well, that's all she wrote, folks, unless you have some more comments. Anybody see Rocky?
Nope.
Jaws?
Seen Jaws. I've never actually watched Rocky all the way through. Not my thing.
I heard Jerry Lewis caused the breakup with Dean Martin.
I don't want to get into that. I've heard the opposite. Jerry always said he loved him like a brother. Jerry was doing the commentaries for his movies not that long before he died. Going back and he was doing them with Steve Lawrence. Weirdly, Steve Lawrence was one of his best friends, so it was him and Steve Lawrence doing commentaries on these films. And Steve Lawrence did the commentary on the last film, or the first solo Jerry film, because Dean was supposed to be in it and wasn't, because they split up, and Jerry's like, it still hurts me so much. He's at the beginning of the film, but I'm going to let Steve do the commentary on this one. And he left the room, and Steve Lawrence did the commentary on this film. So I kind of, if you believe Jerry, he was heartbroken about it pretty much his whole life.
He's heartbroken about a lot of things his whole life.
Yeah.
This movie, things, the last scene of the movie, whatever happened to make him do the telethon. Right. By the way, did you ever see Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla? I'm guessing not. With Sammy Petrella?
I have. That's the one with the fake Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, and they're terrible.
Yeah, that's why I was going to. I forget if you've seen that or not. I was going to suggest.
Yeah, they're horrible. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to post that one. KRW crude. That is kind of crude. So we got time for just 30, 40 more questions because I got nowhere to go. I tell you, we got time for just 30, 40 more questions. Sure. Jerry Lewis's book, Dean and Me, presents his viewpoint of the team. He said that during their last year together, 55, 56, they wouldn't speak to each other. Yeah, that kind of stuff is so depressing.
Yeah,
The same thing with
yeah.
Abbott and Costello
It,
arguing.
it's just not good. Yeah.
Bad news. Well, I guess I'll talk about, I've still been getting through Lost in Space for people who want to know. I've been doing pretty good. This is the first time in my life that, I've seen the episodes more or less throughout my life, but that I ever sat down to religiously watch all 83 episodes. I'm still not done. But of course, I skipped over one, which I'm not supposed to do. It's called Castles in Space. I skipped over it because I wanted to get to the antimatter man. So I got to go back, which is that's not, you get anal about it. You don't want to break the chain. But I got to go back over that one. And there's a couple that I saw that didn't knock me out anymore that I used to love. One of them is called Target Earth, and it's another one that has to do with the common theme of the Robinson family getting duplicated. That happens many times. And I used to love that one. It didn't do it for me. And then The Promised Planet, which is the famous hippie one with the hippie dancing, and Dr. Smith has a hippie wig and all this kind of stuff. And I love that music that's in there. And I didn't know there's a commentary playing, and some of these on the Blu-ray have the cast commentaries, just some choice episodes, and The Promised Planet is one of them. And they reveal that, or I think Angela Cartwright, who plays Penny, reveals that somebody, well, it was either her or Billy Mooney, they were saying that the song they danced to was 20th Century Fox, the Doors song. Is that the name of it? 20th Century Foxes or Fox? I know the song, but that's what she did dancing to. And then later they added the music to it, like dance music in the movie. But anyway, I was saying off camera with Tim that they goof around so much on this. I know the show got really goofy and everything, but they don't take it seriously enough. And I want to hear like how they did this or what was it like doing that. Instead, they're like watching it with us and laughing. Like, why is he doing that? And Angela Cartwright is like the most cynical person. Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, why? I don't understand. Would somebody tell me why he's doing this or they're doing that? Then Billy Mooney has to say, well, because they didn't get back to the galaxy. That's why. And he's trying to explain it. And it's like, just watch the movie already, the show. It's like you're ruining it.
Well, the thing, I'm not going to try to defend him here, but the thing is, she was probably, 14? They were both probably about 14 when they're doing how much do you remember when you were 14? How much technical stuff can you tell people about?
I do. Not everybody does.
I can't. It was a long time ago, and they were just kids.
Well, they remember some stuff, Tim. Kind of nothing, but and sometimes the moderator has to ask and drive it out of them. But they, especially Billy Mooney, he knows everything. He remembers everything. But if you just let them go, there's another one when they're watching the freaking Antimatter Man, which is like considered the best episode. The first shot for 5 minutes or something is in the background is a freaking piece of equipment that looks like a cigar or let's say a phallic symbol, and all they do is laugh what it looks like, through the whole and they're joking the whole freaking time, laughing over the dialogue. Would you just stop? That's how I feel. I don't like Mystery Science Theater, 3K for that reason too. If I want to make a joke about that thing, I'll make my own joke. I don't need you to do it anyway. Now we're saying, Martin and Lewis together.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Veronica and Angela Cartwright get along. All I know is I got my picture would take with both of them. That's all I know. Don't know. Let's go back a little bit here first. Did you ever see the TV movie about Martin and Lewis? No. Is it as bad as the one about Bud and Lou with Buddy Hackett and Harvey Korman? Yeah, this is true. Laurel and Hardy still remain friends. Okay, my wife and I are watching the classic 39 Honeymooners episodes in order. We have 7 more. Yeah, one of the best things I remember doing, the most fun, was when my young nephew, we used to get together for movie nights, and we'd always start with a classic 39 Honeymooners episode. And he's somebody who's never seen it before, and he liked it. So, imagine like seeing these through the eyes of somebody who's never seen them before, you know? And he really liked it, and it was fun to show him a new one every time. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. When Costello was talking about the time they had the fight and weren't talking and they made up, Costello said, "I'm glad one of us couldn't sing." Yeah, right. I think that was on. Jeez, things. Tim says this a lot too. It's like you can't think of things fast as you used to. This Is Your Life. Okay. When I was 14, started watching Super 8 silent comedy shorts from the library, Laurel and Hardy, Chaplin, etc. So got to go through all of them too. The silent ones. I always have trouble with those. Boy.
Cool. I remember when I was in school, like elementary school, once in a while they would, in a class, the teacher would bring in the film projector, and they would show us some silent shorts, some Laurel and Hardy and some Chaplin and stuff like that. And I loved it. I don't know if the other kids did, but I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
I see, said the blind man. Well, we're at the end of the line, folks. We're exhausted on topics. Patty, get off there. Cool it, man. Yeah, man. Freaky.
Let me just end with this. One of the things that was better without all this technology that we have now is that when you're a kid and stuff like that happened, you looked forward to it. You saw somebody wheeling in the film projector into your classroom. What was going to be? You were like, yeah, something special is going to happen. This is where now, I don't even know if they do anything like that, but if they do, it's probably just on a big screen project, and it's just there, and it's not special anymore.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was a treat when you got to see a movie in class. I remember.
Yeah. And once a year at Christmas, we'd all troop down to the auditorium and they would show us the night before Christmas Bell Lab film. And I think there was another film that we'd see. And once in a while, we'd also see the Capper did those too, the Bell Science films, Mr. Hemo and Mr. Sun and all of those. Those things, they were still showing those when I was in school. And those were, again, on film. I mean, that was cool.
I think I know, as a matter of fact, and I was 14 at the time. Shows you how good I can remember it. I don't know what it's called. The Currents at Owl Creek Bridge episode that was shown on film in one of my classes in high school, and that's when it came a Twilight Zone episode, I think too.
No, I saw it too. I can't remember if I saw it on film at that time or later on towards the late 70s. VCR started coming in, and so they'd wheel in a TV, and that was never as good. Suddenly you went from this big screen to this little 17-inch box up on a stand, and if you're in the last row, good luck looking at that.
Yeah. Final Destination Bloodlines has some great reviews. Give it a watch, Joe. No, I got, you kidding me? I mean, I got like 200 movies I got to see that I want to see already. I don't know. Somebody said, I think they had a request. I don't know if it was Not of This Earth, but I if that's the movie, not the Tracy Lords one. I know Tracy Lords is a porn star and made a version of Not of This Earth later, but the 50s version, I think I have that. So there you go. I enjoyed your video earlier. That store had a lot of DVDs. Oh yeah, and Blu-rays and 4Ks. Yeah, they had all that stuff. They have everything there. You know.
Believe it or not, I've seen both versions of Not of This Earth, and I think I like the Tracy Lords one better.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's just can't be fun, you know. It's just can't be fun.
Well, see, that's the thing. When you like a movie like that, you say it's
Yeah,
just fun.
yeah,
You just have some fun. That's what I do too. You know,
just can't be
um,
fun.
just enjoy, have some fun. Watch Devil's Rejects. It's just can't be. It's just fun. I remember those old Coronet films. There's a YouTube channel called Periscope Film. There's a lot of cool film strip type stuff.
Yeah, I like ephemera. I collect some ephemera, not
Yeah,
much,
I
but
know Tim. We talk about this from time to time. Tim likes it. I never saw Blind Man. I like spaghetti western, so I might like that film, even if it
yes,
turns out to be not so good.
it is good. It is good. Try to see. There's two cuts. Try to see the uncut version.
Well,
The
whatever
cut
one's on the
version is
DVD.
okay, but try to see the uncut
What's the one
version.
on the DVD? It must be the uncut one.
Yeah, I have it. It's available like for a while it was available in one of those 20 westerns, you know, those sorts of things, and that one had the cut version.
Well, if Ringo wasn't in it, I'd have no interest in this movie. You know, Ringo's in it, and he plays a Mexican bandit, I think,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
pretty, against type, so to speak. You know, he's not jolly
yeah,
old Ringo. He's a real bad guy in it, and that's interesting to watch.
yeah,
But I
and
still say
yeah,
there's a scene where he breaks out into a laugh, and they left it in a mistake.
I don't remember, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy that's really good is the guy that plays the blind man. I
yeah.
mean,
That's true.
he's amazing. I mean, because I love that. I love the Blind Swordsman series too, the
Oh, you like
Japanese.
swords,
Yeah.
man? Huh? Oh.
Well, the guy's blind, and nobody can get him, and he's blind. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff.
I remember when I was around 6 and 70, going to see Laurel and Hardy and Chump at Oxford. It was on 16 millimeter at our local school. That was a big deal. I remember when a library was playing House of Frankenstein in 16 millimeter, and back in those days, that was a big deal. I remember all the kids talking during it. I was annoyed even then. I must have been like 11 or something. Still just not paying attention, talking. I took a class in school, music and films, background music. They showed On the Waterfront. I said to myself, I don't know about the music, but this is a real good movie. Yeah, I liked it. And don't remember it that much. It's been a while. It's when I was I think we talked about that. I was doing a Marlon Brando thing, watching a few of those. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to go at least for an hour here, folks.
Okay. Well, I just finished watching on YouTube. It's only 5 minutes, but the latest Criterion Closet with Natasha Leone. And I got two things to say about that. A, put some clothes on. That's one. She's wearing this transparent bodysuit. It's like, put some clothes on, sweetie. And number two, it's like nobody told her go in and take it all. It's like she took one of each. I've never seen anybody in the Criterion Closet take as many movies. She probably takes 50 movies or more. And the video is 4 minutes long.
Yeah. I want
I'm
to see
like,
them go in the Kino closet.
what the heck?
Uh, that took me to the theater to see Animal Crackers early in '74, Marx Brothers. It had been unavailable for many years because of some copyright issues. I think I remember liking that. When I was looking at some old reviews, remember, I have like on a database, I thought it was 1,000, it's more like 800 reviews of movies that I've seen like 20 years ago, some of them. And I can just jot the notes down from what I wrote then, and just kind of like use bullet points and read them. Like they're not fresh views, but I could use them to make a video on it every day if I do that. Have you guys seen The Earthling from 1980 with William Holden? No, I never heard of that. Have you?
Never heard of it either.
There's lots of movies out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm one of the. Go ahead.
No, there's ton. I'm just agreeing. There's tons and tons and tons.
Yeah, and I think most Marx Brothers fans hate Room Service, which I think I did. That's what I put that down. But I was in the theater when I was 12, and it was mostly fun. That one, I think The Big Store is another one I wasn't wild about.
Is Room Service the really early one where they're not even really the stars? That one's not very good. If it's not Room Service, that's not great either.
I don't think it was the one of the early ones. I mean,
okay.
No, the Coconuts was one of them.
Maybe Coconuts is the one where they're not the stars, and that's not very good. And
I got into them kind of late, and I appreciate them. Yeah, 1938 was Room Service. Okay. That's later.
All right.
William Holden was always good. Was that Blake Edwards, SOB? I think so.
I don't know if I've ever seen it all the way through. I've certainly seen parts of it.
Room Service is fun, but it's not a Marx Brothers movie. It was a play. A Marx Brothers movie is a movie made and writing just for the Marx Brothers. I still say the first movie that I really got around to seeing, like completely, when I was dedicated to say I'm going to watch Marx Brothers movies, was A Night at the Opera, which I thought was really good. Then I found out later, is it Thalberg? Later on, like that wasn't typical Marx Brothers films. This was different for them. And I like it better that way. I didn't like some of the more zany shit. This was, I don't know, something about.
Sometimes they're too zany. It's just too much.
Even the Three Stooges, as much as I like them, I can't stand Men in Black. They're just running all over the hospital. Like, fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine. It's like, just, I don't know. I hate to say I'm looking for more of a story, but I don't know. There are mostly stars and Coconuts there first, but there are scenes with other characters.
Yeah, it's that one's a love story with these two people that keep insisting on singing opera all the time, and it's like, oh god,
oh, that's terrible when they do that.
Just stop. I don't mind music if movies if it's listenable music.
If Tom Hunyadi was here, he would talk about how he likes opera. Wow. I tell you, I'll take rap music over opera.
But it's light opera, which is worse.
I think they have another name for it. I know what you mean. I think there's another name for it, but I can't think of what it is called. It's opera, but the cadenza. I don't know. I know there's some of those in some Laurel and Hardy movies too. They like. I don't think they're Hal Roach ones. Universal. Hal Roach. Is it like Fra Diavolo or the Devil's Brother? Is like singing in there. It's rough.
And that's the great thing about the early Abbott and Costello movies is they had the Andrews sisters. So the contractual music that's going to be in it was actually good and enjoyable. And it's like, yes. And when they lost the Andrews sisters, I think they lost something.
I definitely I like them, and I do like them I like their songs. Anytime, and the first few movies, whatever, 3 movies.
Yeah,
I like
above everybody else's singing in movies because it was the Andrews sisters, and they were interesting and swinging and cool.
SOB reenacts the story about friends supposedly taking John Barrymore's body out of the mortuary and sitting him up in a chair for a party. Sounds like Weekend at Bernie's. No opera in Coconuts, but Broadway-style songs.
Well, yeah, but it's light opera because that's what the music was at the time. It was. I mean, you listen. Go to your thrift store and buy a random 78 and take it home and listen to it, and that's what it's gonna sound like. It's just
I know what you mean, and I wish I could think of a really high,
yeah,
annoying, extra high, screechy kind of.
and it's just it's
It's funny. Considered the two best Marx Brother movies. The figures; those are my favorites. See, I know what I'm talking about. Even when I didn't know that, I think Duck Soup and Night of the Opera are my two favorites. From
Duck
what I
Soup
remember,
I think is probably my favorite.
and maybe Horse Feathers. Um,
But
yeah,
I like the room service, I think. From if memory serves me right, I like the room service.
yeah, that's what I was. I should have remembered Eric to ask Eric. Yeah, I think Fra Diavolo, which is the one. Yeah. Oh, the Bohemian Girl and Swiss Miss has a opera like singing. Operetta was the style name. Yeah, operetta is worse than opera.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once upon a time when I was married, my wife got a season tickets to a classical music show that was once a week at like this nice ballroom place in DC. And so, being the nice guy I am, I said I'd go. And we get there the first night, and it's singing classical. It's not opera, but it's classical vocal, which is basically opera. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the difference. And I thought I was gonna die. And 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 I asked her when it was over, are they all like this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so she actually let me
Yeah.
out of it. She went with somebody else for the rest of them, and I didn't have to go. I just found it insufferable.
It's funny because you say there's a nice Harpo business and room service chasing a fake looking turkey around the room. It's so fakey. It's funny. That's the only thing I seem to remember from it. Room service, something about them sitting at a table going to eat or something. Uh, yeah. What about a
Well,
night in Casablanca?
I know they did it in a lot of movies, but isn't there one of the mirror scenes in room
Yeah, it's Duck
service?
Soup.
Yeah, but they did it in more than one. I think there's one in
First
room
time I
service.
saw the one in Duck Soup, I mean, I was younger and I was home and I caught it at late at night, like 1 in the morning, and it was the funniest thing. I was laughing my ass off. That's a great scene. Not many scenes make me laugh out loud, but the first time I saw the mirror scene in Duck Soup, I laughed out loud.
Did I ever tell you the time um Harpo Marx was on What's My Line? Is a mystery guest. You know, had to blindfold themselves, and
Mm.
he's answering questions. He's grunting and everything like that. And finally, they figured out who it was. So they take off their masks, and then he's laughing, and so's the host. And they're like, why are you laughing? And he's like, because you didn't get it. And he's like, what do you mean we didn't get it? And he took off his wig and his coat, and it wasn't Harpo, it was Chico. They look so much alike
Oh
that
yeah, they do.
he was just pretending, and nobody got it. And even unblindfolded and everything, nobody in the audience didn't get it either. Everybody was stunned that it wasn't Harpo at all. It was Chico. It was
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. Hello, Brad.
Oh,
Sorry you got here later, but they're going to stop it soon. Unless things pick up a little bit. I'm only going to be on 20 more minutes at the most. Anyway, Night in Casablanca has some great business. Yeah, I don't remember it. I got notes everywhere.
their movies all run together for me. That's my problem with them.
And I don't forget the West. I'll go West or something. Oy vey. Uh, Hotel manager Groucho asks an older couple for their marriage license. The man says, "You should be ashamed of yourself." Groucho says, "If that's your wife, you ought to be ashamed of yourself."
Typical Groucho.
That reminds me of a line. It might not come out well. I hope I get it right from the show I Love Lucy. I think Ricky and Fred find out that their wives, Lucy and Ethel, are with a man. And I think they're both messing around with them. So Ricky says, Lucy, you here with him, dressed like that. You must be out of your mind. And then Fred says, Ethel, you here with him, dressed in that. He must be out of his mind. No, I said go west. I said go west. Out west is Laurel and Hardy. Go west is Marx Brothers. Did I get it right, folks? I think so.
I think so.
Thanks for giving us some of your time. Yeah, well, it's funny. W.C. Fields, I was just talking earlier that I saw a little bit of My Little Chickadee with Mae West on TV. And, I didn't see all of it. I saw about a half an hour. And I thought she was interesting, to say the least. But I didn't think W.C. Fields was so funny in it. But I didn't like The Bank Dick either. I remember one time I watched The Bank Dick with some friends, and I was like, I didn't love that either. But it's a gift, I think I like. It's a gift.
Yeah, that might be. There's one. I mean, I like the ones where he gets to show off his talent. Like, he's one of the best jugglers that ever lived.
Uh-huh.
He's fantastic. And there's one where he's golfing. And there's this piece of newspaper that keeps floating in front of his club, and he hits it, and it circles back up around and lands, and he's basically juggling with a golf ball and this paper and his golf club without his hands, and it's absolutely amazing that he's doing this. You're just like, how is he doing? He was just a really talented guy.
Yeah, I don't know. For a while I always talk about this. I had a region-free player, and I have a W.C. Fields box from, I don't know what country it is, and I had to watch it on my player that was multi-region, and then the region player got broken, so I don't have one. And I did watch International House, which was an interesting movie. It had a lot of people in there. I think Burns and Allen were in there. Bela Lugosi was in there. There were a lot of stars in that one. And it was interesting. I mean, that's a really good set. I mean, I don't know enough about W.C. Fields, but I definitely have to learn more. I remember in Hannah and Her Sisters, Woody Allen, I think he didn't want to give up. He just wanted to give up on life. And then he goes to the movie theater and sees the Marx Brothers, and that makes everything all right. Well, I need more than that. I'm crazy about Fields. I've got all his existing films, except for the last two 1944 features he had brief scenes in.
Yeah, I know. I speaking of Big Lots a while ago, I went to Big Lots one day, and there was this for $5. It was a box of 10 W.C. Fields films. I'm like, yes, thank you.
It'd be a good time for me to go. It's in the other room. I should show it. Why not, right? If I can get a hold of it. All right, I'm going to get a hold of it. So, I don't know. Anything you could talk about, Tim, while you're...
I'll come up with
it won't take long.
Okay. Well, I have a recommendation for anybody that likes history and wants an interesting take on it. Somebody's put up a series I didn't even know about. James May from Top Gear is doing a series called The Explorers, and they're all about an hour and 6 minutes long. The first one's Columbus, and it's just really good. I learned a lot about Columbus I never knew about, but it was highly entertaining at the same time because it's James May, and James May is a highly entertaining individual. So I recommend Sir Walter Raleigh was the second one that I watched. And the third one is going to be Captain Cook, I think. But I haven't watched that one yet. But I probably will tonight. Interesting series. Somebody's got it on YouTube if you're interested. James May, The Explorers. Good stuff. And that's about all I got. And Joe's back. Good.
Almost broke my arm like him trying to get this off dust on the top. You wouldn't believe. Look at this beautiful set. I think it's a beautiful set. W.C. Fields. We're going to blow this up a little bit, help make it easier. W.C. Fields, the movie collection, classic 17 films. It says January 18. Oh, it must be how long he lived. And it's got skinny. I wish they all came like this, and these skinny things, you know.
Yeah.
Poppy. I don't know. $1 Million Legs. I'm going to show all these things. There's 17 movies in here. Six of a Kind and Honest Man. You Can't Cheat an Honest Man. You know, I want to know, are there any of these things that are available like on regular, regular US? It's a gift.
Read Eric Schultz's comment. It's right at the top. I'll read it to you. It says, Tim, there's a more recent field set of 17 or 18 films. I'm assuming that's going to be US.
Oh, so what are you telling me? Should I stop doing this? Some of these I don't even know. You're telling me?
Yeah. Some of them are probably silent.
On a flying trapeze.
Because he started in as a silent guy, and then.
Yeah, let me know about these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get the idea. This is a really nice set. It's too bad I can't play them on my regular player. You know? That's right. My regular player. Okay, let's see now. I'm going to go. I heard there was Baby Rosemary in one of these things. Are you kidding me? Like Rosemary was like.
She was a child star.
Jeez, man. That frog voice. Ugh.
She was a child star.
She ruins Dick Van Dyke's show for me. Like, I have a hard time watching it for some reason. All right, let's see. We gotta go back up. You probably answered some of these things already.
No, I didn't. I promoted a series I saw on YouTube while you were
gone. Okay. How about this? Have you seen some merch for the Jaws 50th run in the theaters? I've seen a Jaws popcorn kind of bucket thing with the teeth and everything. And I think maybe something else. We think I could remember? Sure. I like when Fields asked the bartender, did I spend $20 in here last night? And the bartender says, yes. And Fields says, oh, that's a relief. I thought I had lost it. I ripped all my non-US region discs to my computer and burned copies that I can play on any of my players. Get away from me, kid! You're bothering me. I like when he doesn't like kids or whatever, and he kicks the kid and knocks him over. Stuff like that I like. And there's one when he's trying to get to sleep or to nap or something, and things keep rolling down the stairs or something. I don't know. Well, I would definitely want to get into some W.C. Fields, but I got to know. Tell me more about this real quick because I'm going to go soon.
Yeah, I can't tell him. It's he can tell you.
Well, I don't mean you, Tim. I mean Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get away from me, kid. You're bothering me. We're getting to the end of the show, folks, for tonight. So thank you all. I'm going to wait a little bit if Eric can tell me more. I guess I can look it up. And I'm glad, Tim, that you're here so we can do the show. And I'm still going to try. Fields. There you go. Fields Comedy Essentials Collection has 18 features. Wow. Okay, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everybody being here, and Tim, like I said. So again, hopefully, if everything goes smooth next Monday, we'll be back here. Remember, we're trying to do this every single week if we can, but then again, sometimes things come up and skip a week here or there. But that's the idea. So let's see if we can get into the routine, and maybe we'll find more things to talk about. I gotta watch more movies, so I'm going to do that. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Next week, same time, same channel, etc. Cheers.